castles, ancient towns, mysterious caves. Every year, archaeologists find hundreds of artifacts. To find the truth and unravel what's left to us from our ancestors, the Career of Archaeology Mystery of History program, together with scientists, are investigating objects found on site of historic events. Watch our program and get ready for exciting discoveries.
Ancient Taraz is a unique city situated on the Great Silk Road. It had passed through milestones of the millennia and witnessed important historical periods of civilization. Initially formed at the turn of the eras in the end of the 1st century BC, beginning of the 1st century AD, the city had become the economic, religious and cultural center of the vast region, just as the ancient cities like Ispijab, Otrar, Saganak, Yangiken, Sayram, Siyab, Koilik, Merke, Kulan. Historical monuments of the local and international importance are preserved in Taraz to these days.
Қазіргі таңда бізге белгілі болған Жамбыл облысы бойынша 3365 ескерткіш.
Today, there are 365 monuments of ancient architecture registered in Jambul region alone. They are protected under the law of the Republic of Kazakhstan from 2nd of July 1992 about protection and use of historical and cultural sites. 713 objects of local and 28 of republican significance. In 2014, 5 objects were included into the UNESCO World Cultural Heritage List. The responsibility for scientific research of historical objects lays on the Ministry of Culture and Sports. Ancient Taraz was known for artisans who were creating unique items in front of the eyes of amazed public, for its lively markets trading goods from all over the world. The city had its own mint, but the main sites of ancient Taraz were eternal mausoleums of Karahan, Aisha Bibi and Tekturmas. Let us find out more about these monuments of medieval architecture. One of the unique historical sites is the mausoleum of Aisha Bibi.
Айша Биби кесенесі бұл жалпы әлемдік осы қатарлы тарихи мұралардың ішіндегі нөмірі бірінші.
The mausoleum of Aisha Bibi is an interesting monument of architecture of the 12th century. There are no similar constructions in the architectural and constructing culture of Kazakhstan and Central Asia. There are many monuments of ancient architecture dedicated to love stories. For example, the Taj Mahal, built of white marble and decorated with gold and semi-precious stones. The Aisha Bibi mausoleum is fully coated with beautiful terracotta slabs, skillfully decorated with ornaments, and this is what makes it unique.
Және оның әрбіреуіне өрнек салынған, өн бойы өрнектен тұратын әлемдегі жалғыз ескерткіш осы Айша Биби ескерткіші.
The building, dated back to the 12th century, is located in Aisha Bibi village, Jambul district of Jambul region, 18 kilometers away from Taraz. Only western wall and some adjacent walls remained from what used to be a mausoleum. Walls facing the street were decorated with carved terracotta tiles. There are more than 60 different varieties of ornaments. Corner columns are tapering at the top, and top of the columns are decorated with tiles with floral ornaments. Western columns have inscriptions written in Arabic alphabet. You could see snatches of an ancient couplet on one of the corner towers. Autumn, clouds, beautiful land. This is the only architectural monument in Central Asia and Kazakhstan which is fully decorated with exquisite ornamentation.
теңдесі жоқ ерекшелігі айшебінің әрбір кірпіші құйрықты болып келеді. 15.
Specially designed and shaped bricks were also used in finishing of the facade. Motifs included trinity of 8-pointed stars, crosses and rectangles. Furthermore, each brick was made to attach to the other. The ends of bricks varied from 15 to 25-30 centimeters, meaning builders used bricks not just as building material, but also for decorative purposes. Sacred lands of Taraz are rich in historical sites. Among them, the mausoleum of Karahan, the architectural monument of the 11th century. It rises above the very center of the ancient city. The mausoleum was built in honor of Shah Mahmud, who was one of the outstanding representatives of Karahanid dynasty. Unfortunately, the history of the city did not preserve the name of the master who created the mausoleum. The mausoleum itself failed to remain in its original form. In 1906, the old building was restored by local residents. However, it was impossible to restore original ornaments created by masters of the Middle Ages. As excavations in 1961 revealed, there were 30 different types of custom-made bricks used in finishing of the building. 4 stanchions were installed by the entrance of the mausoleum, which were used to place candle holders. The city itself was renamed in honor of Karahan. From 1836 to 1936, it was called Auliya-ата.
Жалпы Әулие-ата Қарахан деп атауы бұл жергілікті халықтың берген атағы.
People called Karahan the saint. The title Auliya may also be connected to the location of the mausoleum. The building rose above the center of the ancient Taraz, the so-called Shahristan, that is the central area of the city. There is another version related to the fact that the area in ancient times was somewhat of religious memorial complex. Over here, there was an old cemetery.
Жаңа құрметіне орай осы жерге жерлеген екен.
The central room is framed by a shanavarak-like dome with decorated stanchion. The tombstone, made in shape of traditional cradle, is in the middle of the room. Staircase in the northeastern part of the building leads to the roof. The building is also equipped with 3 small corner rooms, hujra. Later on, the walls of the mausoleum were stacked with bricks of Imperial Russia times. The dome and arches were made of terracotta tiles. The sign above the entrance door reads, "There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet," in Arabic. The last restoration of the ancient building was completed before the big date when Taraz was celebrating its 2000th anniversary.
Ұлттық мәдени мұра бағдарламасы бар. Осы бағдарлама
As part of the Cultural Heritage Program, 15 historical and cultural sites were restored in Jambul region, and Karahan's mausoleum was one of them. The architectural monument was restored in 2002-2004. Tekturmas architectural complex conceals century-long secrets. The mausoleum built along the Talas River in the 14th century in the southeast of Taraz is a sacred place. There are graves of people of different confessions, Christians, Zoroastrians, Muslims. An underground tunnel was dug at the foot of the hill. There was a stone bridge connecting 2 banks of the Talas River.
Бұл әрине ежелгі дәуірден жеткен кесен емес, бұл кейінгі жылдарғы басылған.
The mausoleum we see today is built of modern building materials. It is possible that restorers and architects were bringing innovations inspired by later periods while restoring this mausoleum. Nevertheless, this place remains holy because this is where outstanding people were buried. There was a time when scientists dug up the grave and found a human skeleton. Additionally, small burial mounds on both sides of the road to the mausoleum date back to the historical period before Christ.
Тіптен арымен кететін дәуірдің қорымдары болып есептелінеді.
In the 30s of the 20th century, the mausoleum was completely destroyed by the Bolsheviks, who were hostile to any religious manifestations. The original form of the mausoleum is saved in images of that era. According to those images, the mausoleum was rather simple in form. Archaeological excavations led by Itena were carried out here in 2001. A new mausoleum was erected on the site of the ancient building in 2002. According to the legend, the ancient monument of architecture was built in honor of Mazar Sultan Mahmud Khan. People called him Tek Turmas.
Бұл кісінің тарихы енді Қарахан дәуірінде өрбиді. Бұл кісі 10-13 ғасырларда өмір сүрген тұлға. Сол кездерде Қарахан.
Various sources state differently the period when Tek Turmas lived. It is somewhere between 10th and 13th centuries. According to scientific data, he was a famous commander of the Karahanid Empire. The legends also tell of the glorious victories of Karahanid troops led by Tek Turmas. He was also responsible for the safety and thoroughly checked all caravans passing through. Hence the name Tek Turmas, which means scrupulous, demanding, someone who can't just sit idly.
Бұл кісіні тынымсыз, бір орында тұрмай тынымсыз кісі деп Тек Тұрмас да атап кеткен екен.
Several monuments of the ancient Taraz are still waiting for their time to be reborn and stand before the admiring eyes of our contemporaries.
Ғылыми зерттеу еңбектер жазамыз, көпшілікке арналған мақалалар.
We are writing research articles, reach public through radio and television. We share the history of our city as one of a sacred land. Along with ancient Rome, ancient Taraz is the eternal city. This year, the city celebrates its 2100 years anniversary. Throughout the history, it was known as a scientific, cultural, crafts and trade center of a huge Eurasian continent.
Бұл ерліктің, өрліктің, мәдениеттің, ғылымның, рухани байлықтың орталығы болған киелі қала.
According to the Chinese written sources, ancient Taraz had become one of the largest cities on the Great Silk Road by the 7th century. It was known as the City of Merchants. The heydays of the history of Taraz began during 9th and 10th centuries. The location itself served as the basis for its consistent economic and cultural development. The city is situated in the center of a rich agricultural valley, next to the silver mines of the Talas-Alatau. After the Mongolian invasion in the 13th century, the total city area had decreased by 3 times. Since 1864, Taraz has continuous attention of scientists. It was still called Joly Fortress back then. As you may remember, a small division under the command of Colonel Chernyaev seized the Joly Fortress in the course of subduing the territories of Central Asia by the Russian Empire. At the same period, Vasily Kalaur, who was serving as chief of Joly district, became interested in the historical past of the region. Kalaur was collecting information from the old residents of the city and proved the ancient origins of Taraz, pointing out the need to study the ancient mausoleums. Findings of archaeological excavations revealed that 2,000 years ago, our ancestors were building large cities, melting metals, making ceramic dishes, and constructing water supply systems. Today, the medieval town attracts the attention of many tourists. An open-air archaeological museum was recently launched here. The ancient Taraz Park is going to be an international tourist brand of the region. The plan is for this facility to be visited by guests of the Expo 2017 exhibition. This complex is the first historical and cultural archaeological park of Kazakhstan. A lot of effort was put into creating the park. Every level of authority took part in the process, starting with the local executives and topping with the government of the republic itself. For instance, preparations for the opening ceremony of the park was held in a very busy schedule. It was timed with the 550th anniversary of the Kazakh Khanate. Everyone worked round the clock, and results were excellent. The runic inscriptions of the Taraz that inspired many scientists, mountains of Karata where ancient tribes would settle, petroglyphs of Moynak tracks conveying messages of ancestors, the ancient sanctuary Merke, these are historical and moral values of ancient Turkic civilization. There are many unsolved mysteries. Our task is to convey these values to the next generation in their pure forms, strictly following the edifications of our ancestors.